Hello everybody, welcome to Bofuri episode 7. That's a 7 anime review. This episode, it was another one like last week. It was more of a building episode. It was just the gang getting more skills and more. That was basically it. They got more skills. They buffed themselves up in preparation, I guess, for the coming events. I imagine we're going to get there soon. I think we might start the third one next week because the last couple episodes have been a bit nothing. They've not been bad, it's been a bit nothing. I think I preferred this week's episode to last week's episode. There was a funny bit later on when Maple was on her own. It was pretty good. Anyway, let's jump into the episode and see what went down and everything. Let's do this. The episode begins with Maple, Mai. Someone said it was Mai, so I'm going to just call her Mai because that's what it sounds like. Maple, Mai, and the other one, Yui, that's her name. Didn't even need to look at my notes then. Maple, Mai, and Yui, they're just fighting a lizard boss. They beat it fairly easily. And then it turns out they're just going to keep doing it. They keep on fighting this lizard boss. They speed run it because Maple's like, we might as well make this a challenge. My guess as to what they were doing, they sort of confirm this, but they basically do. Essentially, it's Maple's OP and they're not very good, so they're just fighting a boss that gives a load of EXP over and over and over again to fast level the younger ones, I guess, is what they're doing, which makes a lot of sense. It does sort of, I guess, does make sense. There's a montage in this, and you know what montage means? It means it's time for that Persona song. It sounds like Persona. I'm going to say it every time it comes up. Anyway, after they do that, there's a funny bit where they roll down the hill in like a poison bubble. That was pretty funny too. Anyway, they report back to the rest of the guild afterwards, and basically they're level 20 now. They got some mental skills. These skills are, this is from like beating it in a certain amount. They're very specific. It's like beat it a certain amount of times at a certain time frame, basically. And they did that because of course they did. It was doubles your attack, which and also you can use two double-handed weapons. You can use them in one hand. So essentially, you can use two weapons, so that sort of doubles your attack, and also that gets doubled as well. So you got 4 times attack, basically. Not exactly, but basically. So yeah, that's. I mean, I do kind of get it, because if you were able to go through it really quickly, you would be a class, I guess, that doesn't do as much damage. So the 2 times attack thing wouldn't break you completely. However, Maple finds a way to just break everything. So that's that. It obviously was not an intentional game feature. These developers, I feel sorry for them, but at the same time, test your games, man. To think of this stuff. Who knows? Anyway, they get Iz gives them some new hammers as well. They're like crystal hammers. They're pretty cool. Would crystals make good hammers? Are crystals easy to break? They're not easy to break, are they? I'm thinking of glass. Glass and crystals, very different things. The next day, everybody is off doing their own thing, and I'm going to have to refer to my notes during this bit because I'm going to try and get it all. But, so Maple arrives. Shield Boy, whose name I've forgotten, he goes off with Syrup, the turtle. Maple just gives him to her, and he's all like, she's way too trusting. As the old folk round here, I got to make sure the game's enjoyable for everyone. And he finds a hidden dungeon. Then we go to Mai and Yui and Sally, who just wreck some monsters, and she's teaching them how to dodge, even though their agility is low. And yeah, they wreck some more things. Kanade is in the library and completes a puzzle and gets another Rubik's Cube and combines with his Rubik's Cube or her Rubik's Cube. Still not sure what gender they are, actually. I might have to look it up at this point. But yeah, basically it gets an ability to essentially store a spell. So you pocket it for later and then just it comes out like a surprise. Pretty handy. Who's left? Kasumi. Kasumi is out farming for fluff for Iz because she asked her to get some. While she's out farming for fluff, she gets a message from Maple. Maple has got a new ability called Fluffy. What's it called? Fluffy? Woolly. Woolly is the name of the ability, which essentially just encases her in fluff or wool. Wool makes more sense. and she's figured she can combine it with poison to make a rolling death ball. That's a thing. Shield Boy then, after this, he's in that dungeon, beats the dungeon. Syrup gets a new skill as well, but I missed what the skill was. What Shield Boy gets, he gets some really badass looking armor and just a badass shield and stuff. Looks really cool. So basically, yeah, this little section is just everybody getting more stuff to get them stronger for the upcoming events. Both the third and the fourth. I imagine we'll do the third next week. That makes sense. And I think they're going to just wreck it, do very, very easily. Because they seem pretty overpowered. Just from an outsider's perspective. We haven't seen them like clash with anyone else yet. They seem pretty damn overpowered. The final segment is all about Maple. She goes questing. Haven't seen too much questing actually. Like they're usually just hanging out and doing stuff. She's actually doing quest. She finds a sick NPC and her mum and gets a quest from them. No reward. Just like, we don't have anything to give you, but help us please. That's the worst type of quest. You get renown. Yay. It's not good. Or, I mean, I guess she did get a reward, but it was like a hidden reward, if that makes sense. So yeah, she accepts the quest. The first one, take the mum to find medicine. Oh my god, no. Escort mission. That sucks. Maple's a genius, though. I wish every game made escort missions this easy. So, because Syrup can fly, she just puts the NPC on Syrup, flies to the location, gets the item, back onto Syrup, and flies back to town. It's pretty funny because when they're on the way back, the NPC is like, "Oh, I almost got out of there. I thought I was a goner," because obviously Maple's flying over everything, but the NPC still thinks they're in the forest. It was pretty funny, honestly, and it's the type of thing that would happen in a game. You know, if you did something completely unexpected like that. To be fair to Maple, the devs should have thought this through. It's their fault. It's not always the devs' fault. But in this instance, she didn't like glitch the game or nothing. She just put her stats a certain way and got a flying turtle. Developers put the flying turtle in the game. They should have thought about this. Anyway, after that, you know, part 2 of the quest, you got to find some ring. She found this ring ages ago. I don't remember her picking it up, but I guess she did. Was it when they went to the haunted house, maybe? I can't remember, you know. Was that when she picked it up at some point and she clears part 2 of the quest, hunky-dory. Puts the thing on the daughter. Daughter runs away to the Temple of Shadows, Temple of Darkness, whatever. Part 3 of the quest, they go there. Maple fights some ghosts, but because they got the holy water in part 1 of the quest, the ghosts just die instantly. So far what Maple's really done for this quest is she flew to a lake, flew back, and she stood there while some ghosts died, really. That's kind of all she's done. Anyway, girl's stuck asleep now. Part 4 of the quest, or not actually, because it's like you get 2 options. You're like, part 4 of the quest or this other one. I think Maple does the other one, if I'm remembering right, or I've completely remembered that wrong, but who knows. Goes to this church, gets this little bottle thing, goes back. Again, she didn't do much fighting. These seem like pretty easy quests, especially for the reward. She opens the bottle, which frees an angel that was stuck in the child's body, which caused it to get hurt. It's freed the angel. Angel gives a skill. The skill is called, I wrote it down, hang on. Loving Sacrifice. Gets some white gear from Iz. Gathers her friends now. Shows off her new angel skill, Loving Sacrifice. She gets like a cool angel form as well, and it's like looking good, Maple. All that good stuff. Uses what the Loving Sacrifice does, basically. It basically makes a big old light, applies cover to everyone in that light. So everyone in that light, so the party, have the same defense as Maple, which, you might remember now, Maple's got a lot of defense, or vitality. She says she's got over 1,000. That's pretty high. That's a lot of... And everyone's like, you know, we're pretty much invincible if we're in here. When they get to the guild battle, right, they better just sweep the early rounds. Like, they shouldn't struggle till the final, let's be real. They're allowed to struggle in the final because it's the final, but the early rounds, I mean, they should wreck the Flame Emperors, right? They're not going to be able to stop Team Maple, the Maple Trees, that's what they're called. Anyway, speaking of other guilds, after all that, Pain's guild, He's the strong man. Payne's Guild are talking about basically who's going to be a challenge in the upcoming guild fight. They're like, yeah, Flame Emperors will be up there, or Flame Warriors, I forgot what they're called, the Fire People. And then Maple Tree are the big one. And Payne's all like, I don't like surprises, or something like that. Fear the unknown, or something. And yeah, so I guess that is... I'm imagining that's where we're going to end the series. We've got 5 episodes left. That seems like a good place to end, is them fighting Payne's squad. I can't remember what they're called. But that seems like that's where we're going to end. Hopefully Team Maple wins. You know, that would be nice, but it should be more even. You know, I'm looking forward to that, actually. I'm actually genuinely quite excited for when we get to see that. But yeah, anyway, that was the end of this episode. I enjoyed it, as I always say. It was funny. We got the prep. The prep work seems to be done now. I don't think I can do with another episode of prep. Let's do the 3rd event next episode. Just have them wreck the monster, because they should be, really. Look at them all. But yeah, who's like the weakest on their team? Is any good at a fight? She's kind of like their material person, but she doesn't really fight, or we haven't seen her fight. So maybe she's probably really good at that too, though. To be fair, they're all pretty damn strong. But yeah, I think I'll end this review here anyway. Oh, before we end, I'm just gonna let you guys know next week the review is going to be it's going to be late. It's not going to come out on the Wednesday like today's is. I'll try and get it out for Thursday, if not Friday. So, you know, one of those days is when it's going to be out. So don't be surprised when it's late. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff, and liking and commenting. It helps me out, the algorithm and all that. I will see you next week for another episode of this at some point. And bye, guys.